Let me tell you something. As a man, you've been fed a dangerous lie. The idea that being alone is weakness. But this is bullshit. Real strength isn't measured by the number of texts you get or the hours you spend with someone. It's measured by the strength of your own company and the peace you find in quiet moments. I used to think exactly like you do now. I remember my younger days when I was terrified of being by myself. If my phone didn't buzz for hours on end, my heart would start racing. Every morning, I'd wake up praying for a message. Every night, I'd fall asleep waiting for one. I was living for her attention, for that little green dot that showed she was online. And she knew it. Oh, she absolutely knew it. She had me exactly where she wanted. With a simple unread text or a sudden silence, she could control my mood like a remote control to my emotions, and I was playing her game. She was everything to me, or so I thought. Her smile lit up my world. When she was around, life had color. But the moment she wasn't around, or she stopped texting back, the world went gray. That silence got loud. The tick of the clock on the wall sounded like a drum in my chest. I felt lost, anxious, like a part of me had been ripped away. All I could think was, what did I do wrong? Why isn't she talking to me? That kind of panic isn't natural. It's something you learn when you let someone else have the power to make you feel worthy or worthless. One night, I remember lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, sweat on my brow, heart pounding. She hadn't texted me back for hours. I was this close to writing something desperate, begging or pleading, but a tiny voice stopped me. It whispered, "Listen to that silence. What is it telling you?" At first, I thought it was saying nothing, but as I stayed quiet, it began to whisper things I'd never heard before. You're okay. You survived before you even knew her name. You can survive without her now. That was a moment of truth. I realized then that I had been the problem all along. By being afraid of those quiet seconds, I had surrendered all control. The truth hit me. I didn't really fear being alone. I feared feeling worthless without attention. I believed that if nobody was constantly telling me I mattered, I was nothing. That was a lie I had been feeding myself. The silence was only terrifying because I let it be. So I made a choice. It wasn't easy or romantic at first. I decided to turn that fear into a challenge. If silence felt like my enemy, I would make it my ally. Instead of refreshing my phone screen endlessly, I put it aside. I went on walks by myself. I sat in an empty park and just watched the sky. I started listening to the quiet instead of fearing it. One evening, I didn't text her at all. I didn't even wonder why she was distant. I just sat by myself with my thoughts. It was weird at first. The loneliness pressed down on me like a heavy blanket, but then, slowly, it lifted. What I discovered was astonishing. Without her constant voice in my ear, I found my own. In the silence, I heard my worries, but I also heard something more important, my strength. I realized I was worried about losing her, but what I was really losing was a part of myself. Every text I waited for, every like or comment I hoped for, chipped away at my independence. But alone, there was no one there to fracture me. I had to talk to myself, to build myself up, and so I did. You might think that sounds lonely, maybe even depressing, but it wasn't. The first time I felt genuinely proud of myself was when I turned down plans simply because I wanted to spend that evening with myself. I started doing things I thought I couldn't do. I cooked for myself, read books that interested me, hell, even the boring ones. And yes, I found myself enjoying a movie alone in the theater. At first, it felt strange seeing everyone around, me with someone else. But then I started to smile, and realize I didn't need to explain why I was alone, because I was choosing it. That shift, that decision to put myself first, changed everything. I wasn't tied to her mood swings anymore. If she was happy to see me, great. If not, I already had my own plans. If she wanted to call tonight, fine. If she didn't, no problem. Before, I had been adjusting my life to fit someone else's schedule. Now, I was doing the opposite. It felt like a superpower. Think about it. A man who fears silence and craves constant attention is like a kite dancing in the wind, at the mercy of every gust. But when you can sit in silence and feel complete, you become the ground beneath it. Nothing, not her attention, not approval, not even sex, can move you because you're not floating on their currents. You're anchored in yourself. This is exactly the walk-away power people talk about. It simply means you have the confidence to step away anytime, knowing you won't break. You don't need to beg for attention or chase someone's approval because you've found it within you. You don't need to stick around to prove you're worthy. You already know you are. And it gets even better. You will no longer be desperate to fill every empty second. Instead, you'll see those silent moments for what they are. Chances to reflect, to rebuild, to become a better you. And others will notice. They'll notice the difference in how you carry yourself, the calm conviction in your eyes. At this point, she might try to draw you back in with sweet messages or moments of intimacy, thinking she has the upper hand. And maybe at first it'll feel nice to hear from her. But soon you'll realize you gave yourself away once for that quick high. This time, you know better. You won't fall for it again unless it's real, unless she truly respects you. You see, being alone isn't about loneliness. It's about loyalty. Loyalty to yourself. The man who knows himself doesn't need validation from outside. You become the prize, not the pawn. So when you feel that old fear creeping back, remember, it's just a feeling. Feel it, acknowledge it, and then let it pass. In the quiet, you'll hear a different voice, your own voice, saying, "I'm fine. I got this." This, right here, is what I call walk-away power. Not because you run away from people, but because you stand so firmly on your own ground that at any moment you could confidently walk away knowing you're okay. With that mindset, nothing can make you crawl back or break you down. So next time your phone is silent, don't freak out. Smile. Appreciate the moment. That silence is speaking. It's telling you that right here, right now, you are complete. You might find that when you start treating solitude as a choice, everything changes. If she chooses to be with you, she'll come out of genuine desire, not desperation. And if she decides to step away, you can quietly thank her, because now you know you'll be fine on your own. After all, the most important relationship in your life is the one you have with yourself, and you've finally taken that seriously. Remember, a man who is comfortable being alone cannot be owned by another. He is free. He is strong. And silence? Silence is no longer his enemy. It's his ally. And that, my friend, is how loneliness becomes your greatest weapon.